everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelly. Happy Thursday to everyone out there, and today for Thoughts on Thursday, I want to talk about an old favorite. So we're doing Throwback Thursday, kind of old favorite palette tutorial. I want to get back into this guy. So if you're excited to see a tutorial look with this eyeshadow palette, go ahead, stick around. We're going to get right to the video. Okay, before I get into this palette, I do want to talk to you what kind of sparked this. I had something completely different scheduled to film, but I was on Instagram and one of my friends, the Newberry girl, I will leave her Instagram down below. She's got an amazing blog as well, so go check out her socials. She's a lot of fun. But anyways, she had did a flat lay of her Persona palette, and I'm like, there was other things in the photo, and I was like, oh, I haven't played with that in so long. And I was like, why not do a Throwback Thursday? Why not? I've been buying so many palettes. It's getting a little bit overwhelming, so let's go back to a favorite. This was a Ride or Die palette for last year. Did I get this last year? Maybe I got it towards the end of 2017, but it is dirty. I use this all the time. I love this. I love this. It's a neutral palette, but look how pretty this is. There's definitely a lot of warm tones. There's cool tones. These shimmers are buttery. They're amazing. They wear amazing with or without primer. So let's Throwback Thursday, hey? Yeah, let's play with this palette. Let's zoom you in and get on with the tutorial. Okay, just so everybody knows, I am pale again. So, long story, hives, I'm itchy, and I don't want to put something else on my body because I'm just going to itch it off anyways. So, we are working with very pale skin today. I am putting my Ulta Beauty, let's look, matte eye primer in Nude. I still don't know how to say that, but this is my favorite eye primer. And I'm almost out of this one. You use very little of it. I do always put concealer and or foundation on my lids just because I have discoloration, and this adds coverage. I've used just this as well, but I just personally need that extra coverage. I feel like I need that extra coverage, but it does give you some coverage. It does dry down. I don't ever set it with like a skin tone creamy color. I just let it kind of dry down. But in case you were looking for a eye primer and wanted some suggestions, this is a really great one. Plus it's from the drugstore. I think this is like $7. Plus they're always on sale. Ulta Beauty always has coupons as well. You can kind of stack sales and coupons on this. But I will have all the information, all of the makeup I'm wearing linked down in the description box, as always. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic week. This isn't really a chatty get ready with me. I just like filming chatty get ready with me, as I'm just a chatty kind of person and we're talking about makeup. And I'm just waiting for my eyelids to kind of dry down. I haven't been into this palette in so long. It does sit on my desk. I will say that. It does sit on my desk / vanity workstation filming area. I kind of like have it all in one, but I do have a basket of absolute favorites up here, and it does sit up here because Ride or Die. This thing is dirty. I mean, you can definitely see my favorite shades. Definitely was this one. Definitely was this one. The shimmer shades you don't really see. These two have a little bit of a dip in them. I really love this palette. Love, love, love this palette. Okay, what do we want? I kind of want to do something purple. That is one shade I absolutely miss from this palette. It's a very deep, plummy kind of purple. I think we're going to use that for the outer. So I think I'm going to do everything around the purple. So let's be weird and crazy and no rules. Let's jump into the purple first. So that is called Chic, the shade down here. It is a beautiful matte. I don't find that these colors kick up a lot in pan. I'm just gonna pat this on the outer half of my eyelid. I don't find it that there's a lot of kick up in pan at all. And I don't ever have follow. And oh my gosh, it is buildable. I always go in really, really light-handed with all shadows. Doesn't matter. So I can get the pigment that I want. But this plummy shade, oh my god, Oh, I love this palette. Sometimes I feel like we need to revisit old palettes or be reminded to visit old palettes. I might actually make this into a series. I mean, do you use older palettes? Older loves, especially. This was, like I said, this was a ride or die. Most of last year, I would get a new palette, as we always do, and then I would go back to this one. I stinking love this purple. Oh, why did I stop using this palette? I'm going to go into kind of a smaller but fluffy brush here, and then I'm going to go right above it into Maverick right here. And I'm going to mix Charming, which is these two shades, just lightly dipping back and forth in between the two. Because I can't pick between the two, just because. And tapping off the excess as always, not that there's usually anything. I'm going to do this in the crease, starting low, and then I'm just going to carry the excess up. Kind of on my brow bone a little bit there. I prefer circular motions when I like travel my shadows up. My eyes are hooded. My eyes are textured because I am over 35. And I'm very proud of that. Dipping back in a little bit, just to deepen up just a little bit of the natural right there. I'm just keeping this very, very in like the socket of the eye. And then with a big fluffy brush, nothing on it, I am just going to kind of blend out anything that, this is an old habit. I always used to do it, and I haven't been doing it a lot. This is a very, very fun brush. I don't ever use it with shadows, but I always use it just to kind of fluff out that edge, the top edge towards my eyebrow. I don't know. I really don't know. I am so chatty. I'm wired with coffee. I am pre-filming. We're going on an adventure. My kids don't know. But they know something's happening. That's all I said, is something's happening this week. Which sometimes that means, well, local adventure. Sometimes we go like overnight adventures that we've done. Crazy adventures like driving out to Montana. I not told them. We drove to DC once too, and we didn't tell them. We actually thought that, okay, story time, really quick, just because I don't think I've talked about it, but one time, it's been 4 years, yeah, because my son was the infant. 1 year for spring break, we picked up the kids from school, you know, the last day of school, and we had everything all packed in the van, and we drove, and we just kept driving, and then once we hit the Ohio Turnpike, we needed gas and to get out, stretch our legs, and we'd been sitting in the car for a few hours, and they have those penny maker machines, and I was like, let's make pennies, you know, just something to do. I mean, there's not much to do on the turnpike at these like rest areas. So we made pennies, and we got back to the van, and we got everybody buckled, and we're like, all right, time to go home. My kids thought it was the greatest thing ever. They were like, can we bring grandma down and make pennies next weekend? I know, it's so mean. I still laugh so hard at it because my kids were so excited just to make pennies in another state. But we kept driving, and we made more pennies, and then we went to my friend's house, and she didn't tell her kids, and I didn't tell my kids where we were going, and we walked in, and we need to do that again. That was so much fun. Anyways, okay, back to the eyeshadow. Throwback Thursday, throwback memories. Anyways, I really love this palette. Okay. Maybe I had an extra cup of coffee this morning, so technically I'm on number 3. And I make my coffee strong. I don't like to see through my coffees. I make them strong, put ice in it, and that's it. We don't additives, nothing. Okay. story. I am going to take this little kind of flatter, fluffy shadow brush, and I am going to dip into, shoot. Oh, which one do I want? These two are the two that I'm debating against. This is Bombshell. This is Seductive. These are like two of my favorite shimmers ever. One's more goldy, one's more bronzy. I think I'm going to go into this one. Alright, we're going to dip into Seductive way up here. Dry brush. I don't ever find the need to use a wet brush or even my fingers with this palette. I don't get followed, and it doesn't do that weird crinkly like thing that some shimmers do on textured eyelids, which is another reason I absolutely love this. I am just taking this up to, you know, my crease line and just kind of going over with that purple. I love this palette. Oh my god, I love this palette. But I always put a base down and then I build it up. And it's beautiful. Now, I don't always like a super shimmer look, but you can use your eye, you can use this wet, and it does get whoa. So, if that is your style, you absolutely do have the option to do that. I'm just not going to. But I am going to clean off my brush right here, because we're going to do the inner corner with this as well. And this is something I actually really, really like. This has a matte shade up here. It's called Humble right here. I love this shade so much for the inner corner. It's brightening. It is so good. This is the shade that really got me into actually highlighting my inner corner, because I was like, I don't understand the fuss about it. I don't understand. And then I did it with this shade and I was like, holy crap. And it's a matte shade, totally matte. You can use this all over the lid as well. It's very, very beautiful. If you're going for like a natural, everyday, just wake up look, you can do that with this palette. You can also amp it up a little bit. I mean, I'm a little bit glam today, but you could also super glam it up. I mean, endless options with this palette. Okay, I'm going to take this kind of a strange, I don't even know what kind of brush you'd call this. It's kind of eyeshadow looking, but it's like a half eyeshadow, a flat, denser brush. And I'm going to dip into this purple shade Chic. And I'm going to take this on the lower lash line. And I'm really going to build it, but keep it very, very close to my lash line. And I am going to take this all the way to the center. Well, almost. So like all but like maybe one width of this brush. And I'm not going to smudge it out just yet. But I do want that very, very intense purple look. And I like using this brush when I want to see that pigment, because it definitely does pack it on right in that area that I want it. Make sure it's all pressed in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take this smaller fluffy brush. There is nothing on this. And I'm going to dip into that Humble shade, which is just that shade we did the inner corner. And I'm going to use that to kind of fluff it out. Smoke it out. I mean, it's not a super smoky eye. It is very close to my lash line. Going for something too dramatic, but it is something I used to do all the time, is just a very tight kind of smoky lower lash line, and it just opens my eyes almost, I don't know. I really like this. This is one of my favorite looks, and I miss it. I miss this palette. I will be using this an awful lot. But I'm going to put some lashes and liner on, and I will be right back. Okay, and this is the finished look. I love this palette. I cannot say enough how much I absolutely love this. I think this is a really great go-to everyday Doesn't matter what you're doing, work, out with the girlfriends, just daily mom gig. I really like this palette. I will probably be using it a lot more. I will say I did do a black liner with like my liner pencil, and I thought it was a little too much, and so I wanted to warm it up. So I did go in with Fearless down here, just right over top, kind of smudge it a little bit. I've also used this dark brown and this one actually. I've used both of these darker shades as liners. They're beautiful. This purple one's beautiful as a liner too. You know, just do this humble shade all over the lid and then the purple liner. Oh, it's so pretty. This palette is fantastic. This is one palette that if I were to pan it, I would buy this again. I will always have this palette. Thank you. Thank you, the Newberry girl, for doing your flat lay, throwing this in here and reminding me that was a great palette. Let's use it again. So, do you have this palette? Did you forget about this palette? What are your thoughts? Anyways, I hope you guys had fun this Thursday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!